What I wanted to talk about today and share with you is what we've accomplished in 2020 and how that compares to 2019 and where we're going to go in the future. Naturally, I'd much rather be doing this in person, face-to-face with all of you. However, this is a pandemic and we just can't do that this year, which is really a lot of the story behind SCCADVASA this year, is how we adjusted and pivoted and changed our focus this year, and still came out and were able to get our strategic plan, our initiatives, and those things accomplished this year. So my hat's off to Sara and everyone on the staff at SCCADVASA for just doing a tremendous job this year. So the pandemic has really exacerbated the issue when it comes to domestic violence and sexual assault, especially as individuals are having to shelter at home. What we've realized is that the challenge that we have is really in advocacy, collaboration, the prevention initiatives that we need to get out, and really the ability to change the way society looks and sees sexual assault and domestic violence and bringing that to the forefront. That's been our challenge during the pandemic, I think. So in 2019, SCCADVASA developed our 4 core values that we use to guide the organization. And we really used those when we did our strategic plan for the years 2020 through 2023. And those are humility, collaboration, leadership, and credibility. And those are the cornerstones that anchor our new strategic plan. And I agree with Sara when she says they're the 4 points of our guiding compass. Going forward, SCCADVASA's focus will continue to be on prevention of sexual assault and domestic violence by coordinating our efforts with our justice system, with stakeholders in the state of South Carolina to create a collaborative effort where we can go ahead and push forward some of these initiatives that we have and develop a stronger, better South Carolina that is more focused on the problem and ways to prevent that. And that has to start fundamentally with a shift in the way we do things. And that's going to be a long haul, but I think that we're taking the steps necessary to make that happen now. So my hope for South Carolina is the same as our mission, that South Carolina will be free from domestic violence and sexual assault. That being said, we have a lot of work to do, but the groundwork that this organization has already put together and our member organizations have done are making huge impacts across this state in dealing with this horrible, horrible violence that we have, where we continue to rank as one of the worst states in the nation. So 2020 has been a tough year for us and for everyone out there, and I just hope that will be better for everyone in the future. But what I want to say is that SCCADVASA has laid the groundwork to be very impactful in battling and fighting against domestic violence and sexual assault. I'm very proud of this organization and what they've done. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. I know this is an unusual format, but I guess 2020 has changed a lot of things for us. I really appreciate your support and your continued input in our organization. And if there's anything we can do for you, please reach out to anyone at SCCADVASA.
Hi, my name is Sara Barber, and I am the Executive Director of SCCADVASA, the South Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault. The thing we know most about our work is that we can't do it alone. Our vision of a South Carolina free from domestic violence and sexual assault can only be achieved if we work together as systems, as partners, and most importantly, as communities. Every single person who works with us deserves an award for standing tall and speaking out against violence and for prevention and healing. Every year at SCCADVASA, we give awards to people who have gone above and beyond, people who are leaders in building safer communities across our state. We had planned to honor these individuals at our annual meeting in March, but we all know what happened to events planned for March and beyond. So instead of an in-person celebration of their accomplishments, we are hoping that we can share word of their commitment to our work virtually and then potentially to an even larger audience. We hope that they inspire you in the way that they inspire us. Our first award goes to former Representative Gary Clary, who was, until November, the representative for Pickens House District 3, and before that, a circuit court judge. His commitment to victims and survivors was most recently demonstrated by his lead sponsorship of House Bill 3370, a bill that would have protected the confidential communications between victims and advocates at domestic and sexual violence programs. The critical importance of confidentiality in the provision and receipt of these services is enshrined in the Violence Against Women Act. This bill would have provided essential state-level protections. We thank him for all his work and will miss his presence in the State House. Thank you, Judge Clary.
Thank you for allowing me to be here today, and thank you so much to SCCADVASA. I am so humbled and honored to be recognized by this outstanding organization here today. As a candidate for the South Carolina House in 2014, when I knocked on the doors of my friends and neighbors here in the Clemson, 6 Mile, Central, and Norris area, I quickly learned that domestic violence and sexual assault were important issues for them. When I arrived in Columbia in January of 2015, my colleagues throughout the state had heard the same message from their constituents. Lucky for all of us, we had a tremendous ally in SCCADVASA. SCCADVASA provides so much support, so much expertise in allowing members of the General Assembly to effectively advocate for our constituents. My motivation for working with SCCADVASA really went back more years than 2014 and 2015, because as a lawyer in this state and later as a circuit judge, I have seen the devastating impact of domestic violence and sexual assault on our citizens. Being able to be a member of the General Assembly enabled me the platform to do something about it. In the last 6 years, I've worked very closely with SCCADVASA and the great advocacy team that they have in Columbia to move the needle in prevention of domestic violence and sexual assault. As I leave the General Assembly this year, I look back on my time there and realize that the work is not done. It is never done. But I do know that by having a group like SCCADVASA on the scene in Columbia, the work will continue. And my hope and prayer is also SCCADVASA's vision, and that's for a South Carolina that is free of domestic violence and sexual assault. Once again, thank you so much for this tremendous honor. God bless you, and I look forward to all the work that you continue to do in the future.
Jane Key recently retired from DHEC, where she oversaw women's health and sexual violence programs. Her creative thinking about programming and how to utilize prevention funding for the biggest impact is matched only by her amazing laugh and sense of humor, which always brought brightness and a sense of fun to the most difficult days. You're probably wondering why this unicorn is sitting here with me. And that's because she brought him, our office companion, to remind us always to reach for what may seem impossible. Because, as the poet Lucille Clifton said, we cannot create what we cannot imagine. This year, we're really happy to present our special Rainbow Unicorn Award to Jane, with our love and gratitude for everything that she did.
Greetings from Wheat Street. I want to thank SCCADVASA for my Unicorn Award. You'll never know how much it means to me. I was trying to go back when Sara and I first started with our unicorns, and I think we were both having a really, really, really bad week. And I said, no, life's going to get better. There are going to be unicorns and rainbows, and everybody's going to love everybody, and things are going to get better. So that was our joke. When things weren't going so good, we would say, think about unicorns and rainbows, and the world will be a better place. I want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all, all of y'all, the centers, SCCADVASA, all the wonderful people I've worked with. We have shared a lot in the last 17 years. We shared a lot of laughs and shared some tears. And but one of the things that has meant the most to me is y'all have given me this opportunity to serve you. So a lot of y'all know I came from a small 24-hour, 7 days a week nonprofit, staff of 2, where I was executive director. And my job when I got to DHEC was I would fight the good fight for you all so y'all could do the good work y'all needed to do. And for 17 years, I tried to do that. And it was a great ride. It really was. And I want to leave you with a little story. I miss all of y'all, but y'all know where Wheat Street is. Come see me. But I want to share a story with you. When I left DHEC in June, I said, I'm going to take a knee for 6 months and I'm going to decide what I want to do. Well, one of the things Robert and I decided we were going to do is we wanted to work the polls. So Election Day came and it was an absolutely amazing experience. And so I found my calling. I got to stand, of course, things weren't going smoothly setting up, so they sent me outside to work the crowd and make them not mad for us being late. So I found my job there. Ooh, we had a good time, made a lot of friends, and met a lot of wonderful people that day. And there was an older couple, and they were having trouble walking. I said, we can bring the machine to you out in the car. She said, no, we're going to walk in. And you could tell when I was talking to them, as my mother said, they weren't from here, they were come here. They had an Middle Eastern accent. We just had the nicest chat. And we got them in, and we got them to vote, and they came back around. And so I was thanking them for voting, and the woman walked up to me. She said, I just want to thank you for being kind. And I said, well, ma'am, the world needs more kindness today, and I'm trying to do my part. So y'all are doing your kindness out there and bringing services to people that need it. So keep on, and when sometimes it gets hard, it gets really hard, but remember, you're giving the best gift you can to somebody is kindness. So thank you again for this award, and please come see me. See you soon. Bye.
Our final award, our Visionary Voice Award, which is given to honor an individual who has led the way forward for our movement in the state, is presented this year to Lynn Hawkins. From the beginning of this work, Lynn has been a powerful voice for survivors in the upstate, building Safe Homes Rape Crisis Center into a critical resource for victims in the Spartanburg, Union, and Cherokee County area. Lynn's generosity of spirit infused every meeting and conversation of which she is a part, and her wisdom and humor are missed in our coalition community. We are so thrilled to recognize her achievements with the presentation of this small token of our appreciation and wish her all the best for a happy and fulfilling retirement. You've earned it, Lynn.
Sara asked me to make a video of about 1.5 minutes and to talk about SCCADVASA. There's a lot to be said about SCCADVASA in 1.5 minutes. It's been the background of some of the best times I've had in the last 30 years. It's been the background of some of the most successful things I've been involved in the last 31 years. Having a group of women, or a group of people really, not just women and men, that are interested and concerned about the needs of victims is so important to making change. With one person, you can make so much change, but with 50, 60, 100 people, you can make a lot more.